I'm Twila.
And I'm Natalie.
And you're listening to Twila and Natalie.
We're doing a little mini show today because we're between seasons, but we're still going to talk to you about the joys and the pitfalls of being a grown woman.
Indeed. So during these mini episodes, we just kind of like to throw out a topic that we don't really get a chance to get into in depth, and sometimes we don't want to talk about it for too long. We just want to touch on it.
No, this is like a quickie when you just got to scratch the itch.
I should have known you were going to say that. Okay, today we're talking about something that I think as women we kind of swim around a lot but don't dig into. We're talking about being selfish.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on this, Twila.
Okay, I feel like you do.
I do, and I have very strong feelings about it because I feel that we send a mixed message, especially as women. On one hand, we've gotten a lot better at saying, hey, it's important that you take care of yourself. Hey, self-care is really important. Hey, make sure you take time for yourself so you can bring some balance to everything that you do.
Indeed.
But I feel like the minute a woman then does that and pulls back on something to carve out some time for herself, if it doesn't fit the agenda of those around her, then she's selfish.
Ooh, I think you're absolutely right.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say you decide, you know what? I'm not going to the soccer game because I just don't want to. I'm tired. I've been working all week. There are 50 million of them. There will be many more. I'm like sitting out on this one. Take some me time and, regroup, take a breather. I personally think there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that more parents should do that because, as you know, I also believe that we should not be at every single child's activity.
True.
Personally, I don't think that's healthy. I don't think it's good for the kid, and I don't think it's good for the parents. I think, well, that's a whole nother thing. I digress. But if it doesn't fit the agenda of somebody else, whether it's another parent or a co-parent or let's say another mom there, it's like, oh, you didn't make it to the game the other day. I didn't see you. I just need to take some time for myself. It's like, what?
Oh.
What?
No, you know,
so you don't put your children first.
They don't say, oh, they go, oh. I've heard that condescending.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we're making it harder on ourselves, and we're making it hard, especially on other women. And I think we need to, one, back the heck off.
I'm all for that.
And secondly, just, cut people some slack. And I think we could be better at encouraging, not like really standing behind it, not saying, hey, make sure you take time for yourself.
Well, here's the thing.
But really being supportive of it.
Here's the thing. It's none of y'all business.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really simple. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
You can have all the judgment that you want, but from the second you open your mouth to express said judgment and you are not my mama or Jesus, you have gone too far. My mother can have as many opinions about my mothering as she wants because she was my mother and she raised me to be one.
Yeah.
That's fine. Nobody else gets to have an opinion. And by nobody else, I even mean my husband. No, thank you. You can listen. We're equal partners in this, but if you're not at least pulling the same amount of weight as me, you better not come up in here talking about you didn't do X, Y, and Z because I can really easily go, but you didn't do A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And then where do we wind up?
Exactly.
It's
like
fighting. Yeah, that's dumb. I just think it's okay to own the things that you really just want to have for yourself.
And do you think, Twila, do you think it's more of a self-imposed? I feel like you and I are better than the average person at taking time for ourselves or of doing the activities of our choosing more specifically.
Because
we're unapologetic about it.
Right.
If I want to go knit a hat at 3:00 in the afternoon, I'm going to go knit a hat.
Right. But we also, I think would be categorized by many other people as being
selfish,
quite delusional in our pursuit of things. Yes.
That is true.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are just like here's a phrase I hear a lot. Oh, I could never do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And here's what I usually say. Well, that's unfortunate because I'm enjoying that. And I mean, I've heard that from, whether it's I used to have a point, like when my kids were really little and they were in school, I got all my kids in school all day, but there was still, there's still only so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
I would probably take at least one day of the week that was just a selfish day. Yeah. I wouldn't get anything done. No laundry, no housework, no nothing. And this is before I started the business. I would just have a day where I would do nothing. Sometimes you would catch me, I can't tell you how many times I would bump into a mom on my way into the mall when she's coming out of the mall. Mm-hmm. And she had run errands or something. And I'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? She's like, oh, where are you going? And I was like, to the movies. And she's like, you going to the movies? I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's Tuesday. I said, I know it's $5 a day. And she's like, don't you have to pick your kids up at 3. And I'm like,
they'll keep.
Wait, and I'm like, and I'm literally like, it's 11. Yeah, I'm going to go to a movie and then I'm going to go get my kids. We're good. Right. But there would be automatically that like super layered, like, oh, is that like you're not as dedicated, or why aren't you as dedicated? Well, guess what? I don't have to be dedicated to anybody's standard of mine.
Yeah, we don't need to be a good parent, to be a good mom. You do not need to be a martyr. You do not need to sacrifice everything and anything. Yes, by definition of being a mother, that happens. As soon, in fact, even before that child slides out of your vagina, it becomes about that child. It's just that's parenting.
Just like, to reference for anybody that hasn't had children, it's not quite as easy as it slides.
However, it happens. But we do it to ourselves and we do it to each other, and that I think is kind of the point that it sticks for me is, and I feel good about taking my time. I want to see more other people do that, and I want to see more women grabbing that time, taking that time, doing what they enjoy. Here's the other thing. Don't take time for yourself and do something you feel you have a social contract to do. Yep. Don't do something you feel is the stereotypical thing you should do. If you like to get your nails done, go get your nails done. I love having nice nails. I actually hate getting it done. I hate sitting there. Oh. I love my nail person. She makes it tolerable. It's like the only reason I get it done.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy the process. I get fidgety. I don't like the sitting there part. I like a pedicure, though, because they rub your calves. So if I'm taking a day for myself, that's not what I'm going to do. You know, like I was telling Twila before we did the show, I took a day for myself. And you know what I did? I ate everything not nailed down in my house that was gluten-free and full of sugar.
Yep.
And I binge watched a show on Hulu, sitting in a recliner, and I fell asleep. I was probably in a sugar coma.
Yep. But here's the thing. Sometimes selfish.
Oh, and you know what? It was a Monday.
Yeah. See, and the thing is, sometimes being selfish. I know you're like, you're distressed that Monday. Like, yeah. Everybody knows for most people, Monday is just like, Monday is actually my favorite day of the week.
Mine too.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, that's like everything starts again.
It's like a fresh pack of crayons.
It is. Like, thank you. See, it's
like you open it up, nothing's been used.
See,
it's
there
untouched.
are moments where we share a brain.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think some of being selfish to me isn't even rooted in time. It's just rooted in choosing the things that I want.
Yeah.
Because we're taught, I think as women, we're taught that we're supposed to put ourselves behind someone else's happiness, pleasure, comfort, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm a middle kid, so I grew up having to share everything. I had to share a room for a while. I had to share clothing always. I got hand-me-downs and then had to give hand-me-downs. Mm-hmm. I had to share, if our resources were limited. So when my mother was notorious, like if we went somewhere to eat, it'd be like, you get something, y'all split it. Like no, who wants to split a popsicle? Nobody. Right. But it was that kind of stuff all the time. When I got old enough, I made like a completely selfish middle kid promise to myself as like an 18-year-old. That I would make sure that I could earn enough money and, have enough resources that if I wanted something and I just wanted it and I didn't, that I could have it and not have to share it.
Yep.
Whether it was a blanket or if it is, an ice cream cone, it didn't matter. I just wanted to not have to share it. And that's a deep seated thing. That's not a like, oh, I just want to like only have things for myself. It was, I felt I grew up with a lot of scarcity. It's a thing that brings me comfort to not always have to share. That really appreciates that I've worked myself to a point that if I want, ice cream in my house, then I have enough resources that I can have ice cream choices. So y'all can have ice cream and I can have my ice cream and you just don't touch my ice cream.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong too, by the way, people, with telling your kids that's my ice cream in the freezer.
Yeah. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Okay.
That's what I got for myself because I get it for you people and you guys eat it all and it's gone so fast.
Right. And we used to have like a lot of back and forth about this because my husband's the kind of person that he's always I'll offer you the first bite. Like
and then that's all you're getting?
Well, no, like he'll literally be like, oh, this is, like something will come and be like, you want a bite? Like that's him. I'm the opposite. let me try it. Do I like it? I'll share with you in a couple of bites. Like, I just want to have the experience I have with it.
Yeah. At least you'll share it. I have a certain desserts at certain restaurants that I outright tell the family, I'm not sharing any of this with you. Okay. So if you want it, you better order it.
Okay. Right now, that's my life, right? My best friends, my very best friends know that if we go to, in particularly before my vegan days, if we would go to certain restaurants, it would be an understood. They would say, "Oh, dessert is coming, and here I'm gonna put this. I'm putting everybody. I'm blasting all my friends. I love y'all, but I'm blasting y'all because y'all know we do this. We'll go to dinner and it'll be like 6 or 8 of us, and we'll be like, oh, we'll just order dessert and share it. No, we will not. Because here's what's going to happen. I don't want to share with you.
Yeah.
And then I have to go through the process of ordering another one to take home because I didn't get what I wanted of the one that we ordered. Yeah. So one day,
you're not enjoying the experience and the way it's meant to be.
Right.
You're gonna have dessert.
Right. And one day I finally got, like, I don't know what possessed me. I think I might have had a cocktail at dinner or something. But we went to order, and I just went. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get this," and my one really good girlfriend was like, "Oh, that sounds good. We can share it." I was like, "No, girl, we can't."
Yeah.
And I just said, and I'd never actually done that before. And she started to laugh, and she goes, "Oh, good, because I really don't want to share it either." So we were both doing the polite thing.
We lie. We lie to ourselves, and we lie to each other. Think of how happy we would be, Twila, and we're talking about women who are, this is our tribe. These are our sisters. These are our closest people.
Right.
Especially with them and with our family, we should be able to say and verbalize, I want this for myself. And it's okay to have it for yourself. I have like blankets. I once took it from a child more than one time. Look, I'm like, that is mine.
Look, my family knows me so well now that they essentially ordered blankets that are embroidered with my name on them so that these are mine. And you can use them sometimes, but if I come in and like put my hand out like my blanket, please, then I get my blanket back. I mean, I think it's a really important distinction to make, that there is a difference between like giving yourself small things and being selfish in ways that kind of protect you or protect your feelings in that moment, than being the kind of selfish where you leave your children unattended. No, we're not talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying be the lady at the playground that's on her cell phone and her kid is like halfway drowning in the duck pond and she doesn't know it. Like don't be that lady.
Yeah, we're saying make the time a separate time.
Right. Well, like someone just told me this, and I literally said, thank God it was you and not me in this situation. They got on a plane to take a plane ride.
Yeah.
And they were sitting in like, the economy, the regular section with the rest of us. Mm-hmm. And they sat next to a kid, and the kid was like maybe 9 or 10. And they were talking to the kid, and the kid was like, he was like, "Oh, you flying by yourself?" And the kid's like, "No, my parents are in first class." And I'm like, "What? So what now?" And I was like, and immediately my thought was like, "Oh yeah, I could not have been on that plane because it would have been I'd have been on the news."
I don't know though. Are you sure he was 9?
Yeah, he was a little kid.
Yeah,
he's a little kid,
but he was happy.
And the thing is, like, he wasn't upset. And here's the thing, and it could have totally been like he wanted to be independent or something. He wanted to do something on his own. But my mom brain would not have registered that. I would have registered like, we're traveling away from home on an airplane, and you have left a child you created unattended.
Well, it's kind of like being way in the back of the minivan. Don't you think? I don't know.
Is it? No, it isn't, because I'll be having 17
siding with the parents on this one.
I don't have 17 people in the back of the minivan with me. I don't have 37 people and flight attendants in the back of them. I can still see you through the rear view.
Yeah, and you know what? I could think of my kids. There's a couple of them where I know would love that experience, and they would be perfectly fine. And I would go sit in first class and leave them.
No, mind you,
I've traveled with my kids. I try to make sure they're not right next to me. Nearby, yes.
Yeah, I don't mind them being in the same cabin together. Like if we're all flying economy and we get separated a little bit, that's fine.
I've been known to travel and pretend like I don't know my children.
Well, no. I'm not gonna say I haven't done that, because when they really clown, it's real easy. I mean, my kids look half Asian, so I can just be like, whose children are those? I think that nice Asian man right there is their dad. Mm-hmm. And then I just disappear to the bathroom or something. No, I mean, but I immediately like think things like that. Oh, give me a little bit of a like, okay, perspective. Like, there's a difference between like, I just want to look out for myself and my well-being, and like there are moments where you just can't actually exercise that selfishness. You just have to go, hey, I have to look out for like the whole, or I have to look out for somebody that's not me right now.
Yeah, use judgment, and just don't have any shame in your game about it. I have my moments, and I think that's why I feel, and people don't always know and they don't need to know either. Just like people don't need to know when you're taking time for yourselves. Not that I'm not saying it to make it a secret way. It's none of their business.
Yeah.
They also don't need to know when you're doing things that are for other people. It's like when you're doing things that are helpful, and you're not doing things that are helpful. It doesn't necessarily need to be known either way. It's no one's business but your own.
I agree, and I totally have a thing about like doing altruistic things in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, like, I will happily die and then have everybody, like, okay, my fondest wish right now is to like when, you know, they tell the stories on the news and it'll be like this, you know, this old man died and he actually left $77,000 to his university and he was like the janitor, like that, you know, that kind of thing.
Sure.
That is what I strive to do all the time. When I heard about George Michael passing away, I was like, oh, that's so sad that, you know, that he died. And then like days later, it started to come out that for years he had like volunteered at the same soup kitchen and he had donated annually to like 20 charities that he was basically bankrolling personally. And the only rule was you cannot tell anybody he's involved.
Prince did that too.
Yeah, Prince did that. Yeah, when Prince died and we went to the tribute concert and they just showed the multitude of community organizations that he donated to and things he underwrote and things that he just wanted to see succeed, so he just paid for them outright. I have a really very personal goal to be able to do that, you know, to be able to actually just have enough resources that I can just provide that for people and never have anybody know that I had anything to do with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. No one knows what you do and what you don't do, which is in large part why you have to ignore the judgment of other people.
Amen, sister.
They don't know what you do and what you've not done. You know, I've had it's like there were times when I remember when my mom was alive and she would ask me to do something and I'd be like, you know what? No, I'm not doing that today. I will help you a different day, but today I'm taking for myself. And she would try to pull I'm your mom and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, woman, I gave you a kidney.
Okay.
Back it off.
Most people don't have that leverage with their mom. Most of us have to be like, yeah, you gave me life. I'm coming over at 2:00.
Yeah, exactly. But see, we equal out in that regard.
Yeah,
she
like
gave me life, then I gave her life.
Yeah,
which I would remind her of all the time.
Yeah, I used to try to leverage like grandkids, but that only works when they're little.
Yeah.
When they're like fresh out and they're all like wrapped up in blankets, you're like, I gave you a grandchild. Then they're like, okay, that's, you know, I don't need a Mother's Day card this year. I'm good.
Exactly.
But then like after when they hit like 5 minutes, it's like, no, you're done. Yeah, that's it. You're like, you're all right.
I love the 5-minute rule.
Yeah, exactly. Every mom gives you 5 minutes. They give you 5 minutes to spend, and then you got to get your act together. That's it. Okay, so in passing, I think it's okay to be selfish.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's important to, if you want to label it and call it being selfish, when you take that time to do an activity of your choosing, or to do nothing. That's the other thing. There's nothing wrong with doing nothing. I make time so I can do nothing. Okay. I work hard so I can do nothing.
I think we should just make that a rule. Everybody should just do nothing today.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I'm not going to do it, but I mean, somebody should. Okay. So you guys know we're working on new episodes. We're very, very close. Season 2 is coming. And in the meantime, we want you to go check out the website. Go to matriarchdm.com. Twila and Natalie have a page there. You can listen to previous episodes. And you can email the show at hello@matriarchdm.com. Don't forget, we will be back very, very soon with new episodes. And we appreciate your